My name's Scott Erickson, and I live in Portland, Oregon, and I'm a visual artist. I'm really like a creative artist for hire. That's what I do. I make my living. And people always ask me, like, well, how do you... When you tell people that you're a visual artist, people are like, that's great. How do you make money doing that? That's like really what they're thinking. And my answer is, I do a lot of little things that makes a little something. Here's what I've heard, and this is usually how it goes. Because somebody knows God because of their faith in Jesus Christ, therefore they're connected to God more intensely, and therefore that should lead them to have better work than somebody who's not connected to God. And that dynamic is not true. It's not true. I mean, we can look at great art pieces and look at the people who made them and their church attendance. It's just the wrong paradigm, and it's not even the right question. Because I think the question is like, what does it mean to know God in your life? Does it mean that if I know God, because here's what it's getting at, if I know God, then I'll become more famous. That's kind of what it's saying. And I don't see in the rubric of what we deem as great and great art, that your personal faith will negate just the work of building skill and having good taste and giving yourself over to the hard work of developing a real voice, right? I do think though, so I've been asking this myself, though, how does faith and knowing God and interacting with Him and letting Him transform and heal me, what does that do? And is there any difference in your art form? And I think, and I am not finished in this process, so I can't speak of as somebody who's like, I'm all done. But I would say it's, I'm less likely to kill myself. Like, I think there are a lot of really talented people who are really troubled and broken and hurting, and they're looking for their art or their success to heal them and to get to that spot where then I've made it, now I'm known, now I'm loved. And I would say that that will never happen. And you can find, and if you really listen to really successful artists, and if they ever get to that vulnerable place and they maybe share that, they'll be like, it was never there. Because I used to work from a place that was like, what I could create would give me identity. And now I'm working from identity. And that's a much different process and a much more exciting way of creating. And I feel like I'm just coming into a better form and stronger work because of that. So I think again, it's a certain dynamic that's like the wrong question, more of what does it mean to know God? And yet, what's going to make me a good artist is, am I honest? Have I worked at my craft? Am I perseverant? Am I building character? I was just reading Paul, and he said, suffering leads to perseverance, and that leads to character, and then that leads to hope. And my question has been, what does it mean to be a person of hope in this culture? Because just all day long, I just hear nothing but despair, and I've wondered what it means to hold hope and be hopeful. And here's Paul. I don't think he's just willy-nilly I need to throw some words in there to fill up the Bible. I think he was no, suffering builds this perseverance, and perseverance is what gives you character, and character is where you find is the outcome of that is hope. And so I think that hope, as I've gone through those things, it naturally comes into my work. And then I think because I'm a person of faith, because I'm a person discussing, and I think all conversations go to God, I think that comes out in my work, and then that has power in a way that resonates with an audience. And so for me, I would say the way that my faith ties into my work is this honesty and grace and those kinds of things. I'm not sure if I really answered your question because I don't fully know if there's an answer. I just think the dynamics are off, and I think it's just like a false dynamic of like being a Christian will make you a better artist. That's not true. I think being a Christian will make you a fuller human, and then that will naturally flow into your work, your relationships, and your all those things.